investigative call demands a range of skills from the seller, and one of those skills is investigating. Spin is an extremely flexible process for investigating while conducting a sales call. There is no one right way to use spin. However, there are 3 strategies that you can employ to help you use the spin process to your full advantage. The first strategy for the effective use of spin involves focusing on the right problems. These are the areas that resonate with the customer and that provide the greatest opportunity for need development. Be careful not to ask questions to develop a problem you can't address. You need a clear understanding of the problems your products and services can solve, and a clear understanding of which potential customer problems have the highest probability of existing in a specific customer situation. This will help you select problem areas that are important to the customer. The ability to pick productive problem areas involves product knowledge, market knowledge, competitive knowledge, and customer knowledge. It also involves planning, which should be done before each call. The second strategy for using spin involves listening to the customer and adapting your approach. Some sellers take the approach of developing one explicit need at a time. After developing the need, they explain how their solution could satisfy that need before proceeding on to develop the next one. Other sellers try to identify all of the customer problems first, then make selective use of implication and need payoff questions for those problems they feel have the most potential and highest priority. Still, other sellers try to uncover as many explicit needs as they can before talking about solutions. They find this helpful in putting together a total solution that substantially addresses all of the customer's needs. The key is to adjust your approach as necessary to meet specific customer needs and situations. For example, if the customer is giving you solid, useful information about multiple problems or needs, let the customer talk. Don't interrupt just because you like to deal with one need at a time. Encourage the customer to keep talking and take notes if necessary to help you remember what the customer has said. On the other hand, if you generally like to get all the problems or explicit needs out on the table before discussing solutions, remember the saying, you have to give information to get information. Only a very patient customer will answer question after question without insisting on some discussion of solutions. Be prepared to discuss solutions, or at least partial solutions, if the customer starts to become restless and before the customer loses interest. Once you've provided some information, you can make the transition back to questioning. The final strategy for using spin is focusing on problem solving and avoiding the interrogation dynamic. One way to do this is to vary the ways in which you ask your questions and avoid repetition of the same phrases. If you constantly begin every question with phrases like, "Is it a problem when?" or "Would it help if?" it can become very tedious. In addition, to keep things conversational, let the customer know that you are listening by paraphrasing important statements they make or by asking clarifying questions. Let's watch an example of how this is done.
So the problems aren't limited to one area, but affect the whole organization. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I'm afraid that's right.
Remember, to get the most out of using spin, you should focus on the right problems, listen to the customer, and focus on problem solving versus interrogation.